Hey everyone, this is Schleicher from Gaming Trend, and I'm here at Origins and Bezier Games, and we are talking with Matt Ryan, and he's going to go over a couple of their current and upcoming games. The first one just recently ended on Kickstarter. This is 1 Week Ultimate Werewolf. And I'm guessing that 1 Week Ultimate Werewolf takes place over 7 days instead of one night, which is one night.
It doesn't take place over a full 7 days, but you are taking a vacation in one of King Ludwig's castles, and so you're going to be spending your time here moving around, swapping tokens, interacting with each other. There's also going to be 3 staff members who work at the castle, and they're going to be moving around and taking actions as well. So you'll be able to interact and swap tokens with them. But you have a hand of cards that you're going to be playing through. And so during the day, you'll be playing these cards face up. And when you play them face up, you get to move around the castle. And then there's going to go into a night phase where everybody closes their eyes, and you're going to be playing the cards face down to take actions to view other players' tokens or swap tokens with other players. So it's got a lot of information gathering, and it's also got that same one-night feel where you don't know who you can trust and who you can't trust. But it makes it really feel like a board game. It really brings it to life as a fun board game. One of the best things about it is that there's only 3 roles. There's villagers, werewolves, and a tanner. But all the cool things and the variety of the game comes from the rooms. So every room has its own power, and every game the rooms will be different. You can put them in a different order. There'll be a different number of rooms depending on how many players you're playing with. So the game has a lot of replayability and variety as well.
How many rooms are there?
There are 17 rooms.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how many rooms are there in a typical day?
So it'll be the same number of players. So if you're playing a 4-player game, you're going to be playing in a 4-player castle, 4-room castle. If you're playing with 7 people, it'll be a 7-room castle.
Oh wow! Is 7 the max?
7 is the max. Yeah, it plays 3 to 7, and it's one that I've been telling everybody it plays really well at 3. So you can play with 3, and it's still a lot of fun.
Cool. So what does a typical turn look like? You're laying down cards face up and then laying them down face down?
Yep, so everyone's going to take turns playing cards face up, and they're going to be moving around, and they'll all have tokens on them. They'll be moving around the castle to try to locate themselves strategically to either gather some information, swap tokens with another player, maybe investigate somebody who said they're not a werewolf that you don't trust. So you might try to get into a room with them to be able to look at their token.
Oh, okay. Now, you said swap tokens as well. So someone who's a werewolf could turn into a villager later?
Exactly. If they think you're hot on their trail, they can totally jump ship and try to swap and become a villager. Or maybe if they know who the tanner is, they can swap with a tanner and get that sweet tanner victory.
So what exactly does the tanner do?
So the tanner, he does not like his job. He really, he has to clean the toilets in the castle, and he hates it. So he wants to get caught as the werewolf. He wants to get executed.
Is it okay if we join in? Or
That's hilarious.
We're just doing an interview, but we can totally start a game up after this.
So how long does a game typically last about?
So a game of 1 week is going to last about 20 to 35 minutes, depending on how many people you're playing with. But it still doesn't last a super long time.
No.
It's not the 4-minute game that one night is, but it does have that board game feeling.
Cool. So I'm guessing that this area down here kind of explains what you're doing each phase of the game?
So every day you take your day marker and you're going to move it 1. You're going to move the staff members the direction that the arrow is facing, so that's always going to point in the direction the gameplay is going. All the staff will move one direction. Then you're all going to play face-up cards to move. If someone's claimed the first player token, they get to adjust the arrow and move the first player marker. And then the last thing is everyone's eyes close, and we all play face-down cards.
What do the staff members do?
So all they do is they just move around the castle. They don't do anything. They won't interact with you. All they're going to do is move around the castle, and it gives you that ability to have those 3 people that are roles that not anybody actually has. So they're 3 people that are kind of the NPCs in the castle. And it also gives that bluffing capability for the werewolf to say that, oh yeah, Jeeves is a werewolf. For sure, I saw his token.
Cool. And You had a successful Kickstarter for it. Do you have any idea right now when you're going to be able to actually release it?
We're hoping that it'll be available to people towards the end of October.
Oh, already. That's a very quick turnaround.
Yep, we're going to try to have it ready for Essen. Essen is going to be where we're going to be making it available. So it should ship not too long after that.
Cool. And we're back again with Ultimate Werewolf Legacy. So this is a legacy game, but we are promised that there aren't any spoilers here for anyone who's actually played the game before. But they have some of the components. We'll be able to see what they are going to look like. And so let's take a look. This diary here is looks like the main part of the game here, or a big part of it anyway.
Yeah, so the diary is what the moderator is going to use to actually navigate through the game. So he'll be using the diary and going through, and he'll be calculating information and putting stickers on different pages as the village changes. So depending on who fulfills their winning conditions, different roles and different things are going to happen, and that's how the moderator is going to be able to track and keep an eye on everything that's going on in the village.
So what exactly do they keep track of? What's in the book?
So the book is going to have some direction for them to kind of be able to walk through and tell people, and all the text in the red are what the moderator is going to read, and all the stuff in the black's things that are for his information. So he'll be able to go through and have really vivid, lively text and be able to work and have an exciting village by using just what's in this book. So it's really a good guide for people who've never moderated before. But he'll be doing it to keep track of who wins each game. Because in total, you're going to end up playing 15 games total throughout the whole campaign.
So these cards here, are they special abilities or roles for?
Those are different roles that'll exist in the game. So depending on who wins each time, some roles will get introduced into your game. Some roles you might not see in your first game that you play through. It's one of the cool things that gives it replayability, because you won't see everything in every game you play.
Yeah. So if they come out like later, like will these come out at the same point in every game, or like if they come out in a later time, will they actually have different abilities or things like that?
The game has a lot of ripple effect, so decisions you make will affect every sequential game in an impactful way. So they may come out later, but they'll still have the same ability. All the cards will always have the same unique ability.
And I'm guessing this is a game that you're kind of going to want to play with the same group of people every time.
So you can, but every 3 games, we call that a chapter. So every chapter, you actually can add or remove people pretty easily without affecting the gameplay overall, which is really nice for legacy games. Because we've all had that person who can't make it, kind of hangs us up, and we wait 2 or 3 weeks to try to finish a legacy game we're having a great time with. So this kind of gives you the ability to avoid that person.
So how long does a typical game of Werewolf Legacy take?
So each session, which is a game, will take like 20 to 35 minutes. You'll want to try to play 3 of them at a time.
Okay, so like an hour and a half or so.
Yeah, an hour and a half for one chapter.
Cool. And you know when this will be available?
This will be available at Gen Con.
Okay, Gen Con. And how many players will it
have? This will handle 9 to 16.
Oh wow, so big groups.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, I'm curious to see how the legacy system will work with this, but you did say that there's some replayability with it?
Absolutely. So you'll be able to get a restart pack, which will give you a new diary, and you'll just be able to play through again with the same group of people even, and you'll have a totally different experience.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that you have a legacy game that you can replay again.
Exactly.
And now we're here to talk about the expansion that's coming up for Whistle-Stop. This is the Rocky Mountains expansion. So what does Rocky Mountains expansion bring to the original Whistle-Stop?
So Rocky Mountain expansion is literally an expansion to the board. What it's going to add is it's going to add a 3D mountain range that's going to go through the center of your board. And you'll actually be playing tiles up and over these mountains and down the other side. So you'll be able to use that to be able to gather things in the mountains. Because there's gold in the mountains, there's resources in the mountains, there's some upgrades you can get by going through the mountains. But it's harder for your train to make it through the mountains, so you're going to have to pay extra resources to make it through.
Cool. And I'm guessing that the higher the mountain is, the more resources you're going
Exactly. When you're going up 2 levels, it's more expensive than just going up 1. So it will get progressively more expensive, but the benefits also do get better as you climb higher in the mountains.
So does it add a lot of time to the game? Or?
It doesn't add time, but it adds more. It adds more replayability and it adds more winning conditions, which are the two of my favorite things for a game to have: is more replayability, more winning conditions. Like, let's do that. So they actually have it out on the table over here if you guys wanted to get good shots of it. But it's an actual physical mountain range that you're building up and over. So it looks really cool on the table as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that just like physicality can make a game really stand out and have a much nicer experience.
Yeah, exactly. Our flat board, I mean, the artwork on it's great. We love it. But being able to take it to the 3D range where you're actually building up and over something really good.
Yeah, I can see it already over there with tiles stacked on top of each
Can you
other.
use it as a single pole?
So,
Or if you have no pole, you're done.
I think you could use it as a single move.
Okay, so
As far as I understand, you can.
So this is coming out at Gen Con?
Yep, this will be a Gen Con release.
Okay, do you have any idea on price for it yet? Or
Yes, so I think it's going to be $30 for the
Okay.
expansion.
cool. And it's not going to add any more players or anything like
No,
that.
no more players for this one. This one just adds the mountain range to the middle. It'll still just be 5 players.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for showing me all these games.
No problem. Thank you guys for stopping by.